Hi there, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. Today we have a plan to personalise some canvas pouches and add a cute zipper charm. We're going to do that by using water slide nail decals to decorate some silicone moulds. We're going to fill those with resin, let them cure, then demould them. We're going to heat transfer some images to canvas pouches, and then we're going to attach the decorated resin charms to the zippers. So, the idea for today is to use those two beautiful images in the centre of the screen there. And I'm matching them up with a mould each. So, I've got a cat mould and a dog mould, and they are just silicone moulds from Temu. They're keychain moulds. And the idea is that the cat one I will pair with one of the cat moulds, and the book one I'm actually going to be pairing that with a dog mould because this is a gift for my sister who is a teacher librarian, and she has a gorgeous cavoodle named Henry whose silhouette looks a lot like that little one I'm tapping there now. I'll tell you more about those images later. So, with regards to the water slide decals, these are designed for nail transfers, and I've chosen a couple of sheets that I feel match the aesthetic of the images. I'm just peeling off the plastic cover and popping the sheets into just room temperature water. And then I'm going to wait a few minutes until they start releasing from the cardboard backing. And then I'm going to use my tweezers to grab them in the water and place them onto the silicone moulds. I always take a lot of care in this part because they are quite flimsy and fragile, and you want to make sure that you don't have any bubbles or tears. And I also like to use a piece of paper towel periodically just to press them down and remove any excess water. They are designed to be vibrant on one side and not the other, so I'm carefully placing them with the most vibrant side down so that when I demould each of the keychains, you'll be able to see the images very clearly. So when you're happy with the placement, you can check it from the other side, which is really handy with a clear silicone mould, and then just pop it to the side to dry. I wanted to show you as well that you can actually use parts of these waterside decal sheets, or even just one if you wanted, just by cutting them out, popping them in water as usual, and then that gives you the ability to not waste any if you're only doing a smaller project. So once again, I'm just going ahead and placing them down into where I want them. The resin I'm using today is River Art resin, and it's a two-part epoxy resin. And what I'm going to do is off screen, I'm going to mix this up using full PPE, of course, and I'm letting it sit on my Estoril warming mat. I find that helps reduce the bubbles. So, getting down to the colouring. The pigments I'm using today are A1 pigments. Now, they're a family-owned Australian business, and they specialise in very high-quality pigment powders and glitters. And I've got some samples here, and Dennis is incredibly helpful, very knowledgeable about his pigments as well. So I'll make sure I link all of his contact details in the description box at the end too. the ones that I'm going to choose today, what I do, I've made up a colour palette sample. I just made a little mould and then poured some of each into each one, and that just helps me go through and select the colours. And today I've decided that I wanted a very pearlescent effect. So the first one I'm choosing is from the Silver White series, and it's a shimmer pearl, and that gives a beautiful pearlescent effect. And because I wanted to warm that colour up a little bit to bring it up to more of a cream, I also decided to go to their Golden series and choosing a gold pearl shade, and that is going to mix in beautifully with the shimmer pearl and create a very high luster, deep cream pearlescent effect, which is exactly what I wanted. And I find that the A1 pigments are beautifully fine and mix together so smoothly. So I'm going to mix a little bit of each until I'm happy with the result. So I've added a little of each and mixed it in, but I decided I wanted a little bit more intense opacity. So these can be fairly translucent if you just add a very small amount, obviously, and the deeper colour is what I'm looking for here. So you can see how glossy and vibrant these pigments from A1 Pigments are. I decant my resin into a smaller silicone cup just so that I can be a little bit neater and manage my pour. There's a lot of delicate areas in here. And both of these moulds, because they have the skinny little areas, the tails and the feet, I find you're better off pouring a little bit, letting it self-level, and then whatever doesn't get covered, just go in with an implement. These are just cocktail stirrers, and move it around until you're quite happy. And I go ahead and do the same for the dogs, and I'm really happy with how this pigment's looking. I do go ahead off screen and fiddle around a little bit with these, just filling them up. If you ever do put too much in, I love the method I learnt from Julie Cutts, which is to just pop a little bit of paper towel and that will soak up the extra resin. She's with pouring your heart out. I've sprayed lightly with some isopropyl alcohol to help reduce bubbles, and I'm putting on the Estoyo cover over the Estoyo heating mat. The next day, demoulding time, always the best part of any resin activity, I think, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. The colour is exactly as I imagined, that beautiful combination of the shimmer pearl and the gold pearl. And because I took my time, I don't have any overhanging pieces or edges, which is really good. And I really love the way that the decals have enhanced the shapes, and they're looking pretty cute. So I laid them all out here for you to have a look at, and oh, I just love that little poodle. He just looks very happy, doesn't he? And I'm going to choose the cat with the curled tail to add to the pouch with the cat. So now it's time to get on to the canvas pouches. So I ordered these from Temu. They come in a bulk pack of I think 10. They are fairly economical, and they are quite handy to use for mini pencil cases, for makeup bags, for small collections of things. Now, the images. So, these are from another Australian-owned business, DTF Hub. And Marie from DTF Hub is super helpful, knowledgeable, friendly, and always on hand to give technical advice. So, DTF stands for Direct to Film, and it's a heat transfer printing technology, and it allows you to print custom designs onto this specialised film. When I say it allows you to, I could never afford the equipment needed, nor upskill myself to use the technology. So that's why I use DTF Hub. They offer an amazing service. You can just upload your images and they come out beautifully vibrant, highly detailed. So to apply these, you first need to preheat your surface, in this case the canvas bags, and the reason you do that is to make sure there's no excess moisture in there. Then you go ahead and use I'm just using my little cricket iron here actually, and you go ahead and apply heat to that transfer for around about 15 seconds. And then you wait 10 to 15 seconds and you do a warm peel, which means you remove that film and then you can see the beautiful image revealed underneath. And then to cure that into the fabric, you then are going to take either that piece of film you took off or a fresh piece of something like greaseproof paper, and you're going to give that another 15 seconds of heat. And then after a day or so, that will be fully washable, and it's just almost like magic. They feel like they become part of the fabric. So a great way to do this, and the turnaround is only a few days to a week or so, and you can have your own images. I chose these two from Creative Fabrica, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. So to assemble the final product, I'm going to go ahead and use a series of jump rings to make a small chain that will connect the resin charm to the zipper of the canvas pouch, and that's how we're going to secure the little charm. I'll go ahead and do the same with the other pouch. You could also use other beading or chain to do this if you wished. And here we have our final product. So if you're interested in using DTF film, I can highly recommend DTF Hub, an Australian business, and I'll give you their details in the description box below. And again, those gorgeous pigments from A1 Pigments in Australia as well, a family-owned business. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'd love it if you subscribed to my channel. Thank you again. Bye for now.